Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And this video that I'm making right here is a quite interesting one. I was like, what is the big thing with the Kardashians? Why do these men love them so much? All right, they have breakups and all the rest of the stuff. But then at the end of the day, it comes down to this: the planting of the seed, the carrying of said seed to fruition, and understanding that the seed is never used as a weapon against the man. Oh yeah, that's right. The Kardashians has as a policy of not using seeds against the man. I want y'all to notice something else in this story too. I want y'all to pay attention to the difference between the Kardashians and your average BAW thought. All right, I want you to pay attention to this. All right, they're different from most other women that love the Afro man in in a few different ways. If you look at the men that Kim K was with before she decided to be the wife of Kanye. Oh, and by the way, take his last name. She couldn't quite give up the Kardashian name, but she did attach the West name to it. All right, you got to look at that you got to look at that. That's mind blowing, considering that the thing that made these women here famous is their name. And even with that, she took on the name of an Afro man. And she probably preferred to be just Kim West, but understood that nobody's going to call her Kim West. See, there's something more going on with these women that makes them truer to whatever. And we all believe wicked things about them because the women that can't stand a chance and that are the worst for good Afro men are one of the main ones putting out most of the wickedness that apparently this family is into. And the people that promote this are in the same camp that uh, a Afro man is supposed to be miserable with the black woman, and that's his only lot in life. And so some of them are like, no, slavery's over. We're not on the plantation. And if we were, we would have been the ones that would have died. And we know that you Triple S crew and the black women would have been the ones that told on us that we were going to escape, that we was going to make our own way, like many of you dudes would have done. All right. There's a few dudes that I don't get into discussions with because I know automatically they are beneath me. And that is dudes that put up one-sided questions trying to bash Republicans while not making a question to be considered by both parties. Like this dude put up, what has Trump done to earn your vote? Okay, he should have put up, what has anybody done to earn your vote? You see how just in the gutter these are the same people that spread these rumors about these women. But let's look at how they go about things. And this TMZ, a couple other people did a story on this, but I think TMZ had the exclusive, so that's why I'm using them as a source, right? Let me greet everybody. Report Hardu, good dog. All the way to the Bay, Fosses, Los Bonjour, Besbi, Kedabawadi, Konnichiwa. Ni hao, ni ama, sani bonani, Jambo Herbaragani, Assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right, so let's look at this. But first, Let me remind you, get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you're looking at this on YouTube. If you're looking at this on Facebook, whatever. All right, share it. All right. I'm starting to understand that if YouTube they're not paying people, it's better to put videos on Facebook because you could tell more of the truth without being that censored so long as you're not a cursing person, which I am not. But I can be brutally honest about the topics. So that's why I put these videos up on Facebook and YouTube. Because I know I got YouTube subscribers that are looking for other videos. So I'm putting them up that are subscribing to the new channel. And that's what this is. All right. So this is the new channel is just Reluctant Nabi, right? So the link will be, well, just press on this video. All right, so if you want to help me out, my Cash App and everything will be in the description box, and I'll put it somewhere on Facebook so you'll know I have a Cash App. All right, so let's roll on into the story. So this is kind of the thing. Everybody was astonished because this is not an American thing, but remember, they are Azerbaijani. All right, I want y'all to understand this. They have strong, they might have strong Muslim ties. We don't know what the belief is, but we do know this. We've noticed that men have had less trouble in breakups. Outside of that, the breakups are public and stuff like that. But no matter how bad the breakup, men have had less troubles and less of a situation as far as custody of the children and everything. And we never paid attention to why. And this is it. They don't have written custody agreements for somebody they laid with and created a child. They say that's how we roll. The entire clan. Understand this. And the cat was just let out the bag after this last breakup. All right. They didn't need all this garbage. Because they figured the dudes they got with because one, there was something there. Two, they both could take care of children, and they both wanted and loved children enough to take care of them despite what happens to them. Anytime a woman takes a man to court, she changes the responsibility from the man and she robs him of his child. And she gives the court jurisdiction over his child. And the court gives her full teaching, all the rest of that privilege, while also penalizing the man for ever sleeping with this woman by making him pay her without any say-so in his child's life for 18 years. That's called prostitution. But according to the courts, like abortion is legalized murder that women do. This is legalized prostitution in every state and city that women do. When the courts do this way. When the women take the guy to court, that's what she's doing. And they'll take the guy to court again and again. And some of the times they'll take the guy to court because the pookies that they screw don't give them child support. So they'll take the guy to court that has a job to get more child support to help her by making him pay for somebody else she slept with. I want y'all to understand this. And then we're not going to talk about the 10 million guys that are now the victims of paternity fraud in the United States. 10 million. All right. So let's look at what these women. Okay. So Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott separated. So that's what start to question it. All right. Either temporarily or permanently. But they don't see the need for a child custody agreement. That follows a long tradition in the Kardashian clan. In other words, They just don't do this. Yeah, you see, I got Black China in here, right? All right. Sources with direct knowledge tell us none of the sisters ever had put pen to paper or set ground rules for custody. Our sources say Chloe and Tristan don't have written custody agreements regarding um, True and Courtney, and Scott also don't have anything in writing. Mind you, they have 3 children. When relationships hit the rocks and the kids are involved, it's typical for the parents to run to their lawyers and to court with very specific custody arrangement. How much physical and legal custody does each parent get? Who gets the kids for what various holidays? Who pays child support, etc. Who pays child support, etc. There are no such agreements with Kylie, Chloe, and Courtney. Now they only mention these 3 because the other ones don't have a problem because they have husbands. Rob, on the hand, is a different story. His relationship with Black China, who is this? Black China was contentious and even allegedly physical. That's her to him. It is not surprising that he and China memorized the arrangement for Dream. It is interesting, however, because both Chloe and Courtney had significant issues with their baby's daddies at the time they split, but still they didn't commit their custody arrangement into writing. Look what the black woman did to get some paper. And this is with Zaddy. I want you to look at something else too. We'll get to it. And we had women, the Kardashians, that were going through rougher times, and still they and their ex-men handled the children like adults that love children instead of women that see children as a check. That's the difference between Black, B-L-A-C, and the Kardashians. Pun intended. Double entendre intended. Alright, another thing. Now we get to Kim. Kim K. They can't stand her because she married a rapper. Alright, a rapper that they didn't want. And I'm going to tell you why they didn't want this particular rapper. Because this was not a thug rapper. This was a college educated one that made it big. Alright, this is one that is considered to be a genius. So they didn't want him. Right? He's been together with Kim K for I don't know how long. Beyonce picked the biggest, I don't know if he committed murders, but we know he was a big one, a drug dealer. And we ain't talking about big time, but small time drug dealer. You know, the one that helped jack up the community. That's who Beyonce picked, the drug dealer. China, Black China, drug dealers. The rest of the Kardashian women don't pick former drug dealers. They might get athletes, businessmen, actors. But they don't pick former thugs. Understand this, right? She drugged these men through child support court. These men called her out on it, and then she clapped back talking about, oh, well, I dropped it. I squashed it. I never took people to child. China's stuff was so public is ridiculous. And they had the custody arrangement and money and all that committed to memory, and now she's trying to back down in the midst of this, of everybody coming at her, because they know that, well, look at what her former occupation was, and she pimped that all the way up. Well, she 304 that or thought that all the way up to, oh, I got my own business of telling other women how to be trashy. This is basically it. All right, so she goes from this situation into getting enough money out of these famous dudes so she could say, I opened my business too. I'm self-made. No, you're not self-made. You didn't make anything. You opened up a business off of scorching men and getting that child support. All right. This is what you did. You didn't want to be a mama. The children were a check. Whereas the women that the B-Femmes cannot stand, the Kardashians, the children were not a check. And now you see why these women are losing so badly. Because every time they turn around, from their zaddy all the way up to the brother, they don't see the brothers for nothing but a check, and the brothers woke up and see that. They've awakened and see that. And so the brothers are like, you know what? Nope. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with them. So is Save Yourself Black Men groups, Red Pill groups, MGTOW groups. The women even try to bite on that, not creating their own group, but they try to say women going their own way. The women been doing their own thing. That's why they're so ruined and worn out, especially the BAWs, right? So dudes have gotten passports and they busting the move. They leave it. But these women can't stand it. Now that they're losing, they're trying to shame them. Dude, very dudes that they rejected to coming back with them into communities when they have no worth for us, not even what they thought they had as worth. Because it's all worn through by thugs. All right. Every time the dudes get in a company or a black woman decides she want to try to befriend an Afro man, he's thinking there's something that comes with this that he don't want. And he's going the other direction. Like I am when I get home. I've been went that direction, but I don't think I want any of them around me anymore. Because I like talking to women and men that respect what I have to say, because they learn and they understand that I'm educated about what I say. Which I can't say this at all for a black woman, period, in the United States. Whew. Their history, y'all. Their history, they know it. They're crying. But now, this goes out to them simps and mangina that trying to keep us on the plantation. That won't work either. Because the more we see who they are versus the potential of good we can have, the more these B-Femmes keep losing. And I don't think they can catch anybody. And now you understand why they really cannot stand the Kardashians. Because they can't measure up to how they treat men and their children with dignity and respect for what it is. With that said, I'm out.